In 2008, The Clique was released straight to DVD as the first and last film from the production company of Tyra Banks, who served as the executive producer on this low-budget teen dramedy, which is sort of like if Mean Girls met Gossip Girl and they both got mugged in the parking lot. Also, leave it to Tyra Banks to produce a movie with a whiter cast than the chalk dust I used to powder my face with. When I had on that e.l.f. HD setting powder, I was ready to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge to avoid being in a flash photo. I've had a lot of requests to review this classic film from the early thousands that apparently had a big impact on a lot of childhoods out there. It's also an adaptation from the Clique series of young adult novels, which I think were the kind that your English teacher wouldn't let you do book reports on because they're too easy. So you know we're working with some high quality source material. So let's join the new girl, Claire, as she becomes the target of a one-dimensional 7th grade shrew and her posse of poorly penned pals for uninteresting plot points, broken record editing, and materialistic dialogue that doesn't even work on a satirical level. That's a smart sounding phrase I picked up in one of those Zoom college lectures that I keep hacking into. Free education, I feel like I'm living in France. Join me as we get put in our place by the private school pecking order in another clicky clackety installment of Clip Breakdown, baby. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and other content found on the web so that we can break it down into tiny pieces like the girl we don't like at the sleepover and look at the individual little clips and say, ooh, that deserves to move on to 8th grade, or no, let's keep that back because it does not have the reading retention required. And today we've got plenty to look at with another middle school aged masterpiece called The Clique, which as usual I could tell was based on a young adult book within the first 30 minutes because the plot is long, meandering, set over an undefined period of time with all these random social events sprinkled throughout. Before we get into it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to let me know right now, early on, that I'm doing the right thing and covering the right movies. Also, if you're new here, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications when there's another weird looking girl at the sleepover to ostracize. I'm just kidding. Inclusivity, love to all, peace, magnanimity, boo-doo-doo-doo. Also, I've got a Patreon where you can access exclusive bonus episodes and virtual watch parties and merch available, including these brand new water bottles. Let people know that you're in the DiRamio club, baby. The signs of trouble with this movie were apparent pretty early on from the introduction of this first character, Massey, who is jarring from the very first moment that she appears on screen.
Oh my God! You are single-handedly ruining my life! This party isn't just a party. It's the last party before winter break is over.
I'm sorry, but the Lions are going to be here for dinner.
The Lions? Are the Tigers and Bears coming too? Oh my.
Listen, Veruca, if you get to quote Judy Garland, then we get to drug you into submission like her parents did. Throughout the movie, this girl will be speaking so loudly that you hear her voice echoing off the sparingly decorated interiors. Like I didn't know Purgatory was located near a Pier 1 Imports. Also, I find it homophobic that the dad is the hottest person in this whole movie, and this is the last time we'll see him. From here on out, it basically feels like you're babysitting your little cousins and her friends who somehow think they're cooler than you, even though they need supervision at the mall. Massey can't go to the winter break party that's ending because they have this dinner with family friends. What kind of family friends? Let's explain.
You remember Jay, my best friend from business school. He's moving up here from Florida with his family. They have a son Todd, a daughter Claire, she's your age. They'll be staying out in the guest house until they find a place of their own.
This has been your expositional morning update, bringing you all the news you should already know just for the sake of the audience. Brought to you by Every Movie. Do you think I could be a voiceover actor for commercials? Buy this. It's fierce. Our girl is mad.
Bean.
For me, the dog tour or dog actor playing Bean is the best in the film. I give him a Golden Globe, which is what I call the Ferrero share that I hand out to people I like. What do you mean dogs can't have chocolate? Well, good thing this one's probably been dead for years. Anyway, the fashion in this movie, They really want to be Gossip Girl. They name drop all these brands and stuff, but I'm not sure we ever actually see any of those brands on screen.
I already had my outfit picked out and everything.
Oh, are you working on the 11 a.m. direct flight from LAX to JFK? She really said, but Mom, I have the coolest outfit picked out. And then it's just this.
Thanks for choosing American. We're happy to be your airline.
The movie tries to give us this indication right off the bat of how Massey, the girl we just met, is manipulative. Since she can't go to the party, she instantly calls up her clique and manipulates them into not wanting to go either. Again, I'm already, like, my mind is boggled. I'm like, well, we're not getting really proper character introductions for these people. I just feel like we're dropped into it like I should already know who they are, but I'm not sure they take the time to really define anything.
She has head lice.
Ew! Forget it. I'm out. Me too.
Me three.
I don't know what the redhead is so disgusted about. From the looks of it, head lice have already chewed off half of her hair. For some reason, this character named Dylan always looks like she just went indoor skydiving. Massey's poor parents are always trying to just get her to behave.
Mass, the Lions will be here soon. You might want to change.
Oh, can I change the fact that they're gonna be here?
No, you also can't change the fact that it's February in the Northeast, so putting on all your crystal jewelry to sunbathe under some halogen bulbs looks a little desperate. Like, we get it. Your parents are rich, tasteless Caucasians with a genetically constipated face, and you're just a chip off the old block, ruffle skirt. Massey's parents were totally involved in the Varsity Blues scandal, I know it. They said, "Hello, USC, how much will it cost for you to take our daughter? She's a The mom bribes Massey by being like, if you're nice at dinner, you can go to the party afterwards. So she gets her outfit all ready, which I don't know why this is its own scene.
Bean!
Bean, chill!
Like, that was the entire sequence, and no, I'm not sure why it was included. Maybe they just wanted to show off that dog again in a cute little outfit. I say at this point, just make the whole movie about that dog and put the spoiled little girl in the kennel. I don't know who the main character in this movie is either. I'm guessing that the book series was a little bit more of like an ensemble where we got the point of view of both Massey and Claire. Let me know if you read the books, if that's true. If not, then it seems like the books would have been from the point of view solely of Massey, since that's who we started the story off with. But I mean, the access point, who we're supposed to relate to, is definitely Claire as the fish out of water. So I wish we could have just started the movie at this point. Especially since the party that Massey is arguing about, she never ends up going to and doesn't play into the plot at all. Like, what? That's just noise.
Dad, how many people live here?
Is this really our new house?
No, sweetie, you'll be living in the guest house, which is the less nice home that rich white people build in their backyards to eventually hide the disgraced sex offenders in their family. But for now, it's all you, baby. Also, Claire, with her digital camera, is the queen of take a picture, it'll last longer. I think she wants to preserve as many memories as she can before those blunt bangs completely take her vision. There are shots where I'm certain I can see the ends of her hair touching her eyeballs. While watching from upstairs, Massey pretty much hates Claire on sight for some reason. They kind of dip into this going forward, but it feels a little too instantaneous for me. I think they could have handled it a different way. We'll talk about it.
What do you think, Bean? Perfect, right?
Perfect is that cute little dog's face. This outfit looks like the stylists at 17 magazine got a hold of some recalled fen-fen. But fashion editors really had teenagers dressing this way back in the early thousands, looking like a Victorian ghost trying on modern day clothes over her burial frock. Also, the little brother, you'll notice, is like a really young baby version of the guy from 13 Reasons Why. So Claire, right off the bat, is just doing everything she can to be friends with her new housemate, basically, Massey. Even gives her a nice gift.
It's for your charm bracelet. Really? I never would have guessed. Thanks.
Have you ever been punched, little girl? It's over for Massey once her and her friends reach drinking age, because she will hear some truth and catch some hands. I can just feel it. Truth or dare, everyone say something they hate about Massey. I also got confused because Massey's not even super consistent with her meanness towards Claire. Like, she kind of flip-flops and acts genuinely nice when her parents tell her to. So I feel like we see her personality soften a little bit too early so that I'm not intimidated by her. I just feel like she's just a fickle little girl who doesn't know how to be nice. I think it'd be more interesting if we saw Massey and Claire even starting to have things in common and like seem like they could almost be friends before the rest of the clique gets involved.
Massey, why don't you tell Claire about Octavian Country Day?
Small classes, nice teachers for the most part. There's only one problem. No boys.
I hear that there's also one girl who's a terrible bully, but I can see why that wouldn't be obvious from your perspective. What sucks is that Massey truly deserves all of the hate that she dishes out, dressing as though 3 jackets is a normal thing to have on. This is something I'm guilty of in early high school as well. I was like, what if I just put on every layer I own? I looked like I was going out skiing. I was like, yep, just sitting here in computer class with torrents of sweat coming down my face. But it's just like Coco Chanel said, before you leave the house, look at your outfit and add 13 layers of insulation that will make your heart stop. So basically right off the bat, things start getting weird. Like Massey's like about to run off to the party, and then when Massey's mom's like, oh, you can bring Claire, Massey's like, I'm actually just gonna go to bed. This whole conflict that introduced us to the character about Massey not being able to go to the party basically never even ended up being a thing. The party didn't matter. They used it to kind of show us how manipulative she is towards her friends, but I wanted her to sneak out to the party without Claire and be like, oh, I had to ditch that girl, blah, 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 she's this or that. Like, show me more of Massey's domain and how her life is so that I can understand how it's changing once Claire's been brought in. The whole thing of the movie is like basically Massey's becoming jealous of Claire because she thinks Claire's trying to steal her friends and her life and her popularity. I need stronger examples of how Massey had it so great and so perfect, and then how it all came crashing down. This is common in most movies. Like Legally Blonde, you start by seeing Elle Woods loving her life and thinking she's about to get her proposal and have it all. With this, we just start with Massey basically getting what she wants from the very beginning, not with us understanding the stakes of what she's losing. But the next day, Massey is out on her private riding trail. I cannot with this 1% realness. It drives me. And she meets our flimsy, nearly non-existent kind of male love interest for the whole movie. I like that he doesn't get a big part, but like at this point we could have just left him out completely and let this thing pass the Bechdel test.
I'm Chris Abele.
I'm
Massey Black, I know who you are. I've been MIA the past couple of years. At boarding school in Connecticut.
sounds cliche.
Yeah, so I was getting kicked out. That's why I'm back at Briarwood for high school.
Bad boy, huh? I guess that explains why you're on a private trail.
Yeah. I must have made a wrong turn somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was when you told your agent that you would do this movie. It was this dialogue here at 9 minutes in that I realized this used to be a young adult book of some sort. As I said, very Gossip Girl gone straight to video. Like it sort of plays on the same concept of like this glorified materialism and making it seem cool for the leader of the pack to manipulate newcomers to like escalate her social standing. But mama, look at the material. If the real cast of Gossip Girl ever caught these kids on a fashion runway, it would be over. This little brat would be found wigless on a dirt floor in a pile of tweed jackets. She would not survive. Oh, by the way, Claire's family moved from Florida. So Claire went to the mall with her mom so that she can find a few more fashion-forward items so she can try to fit in at the school. That's where she starts to try to make friends with some people she sees.
Well, I'm not getting you a size 6.
But I am a size 6.
When you're a size 4 again, I'll get you the pants in every color.
Ooh, finally a gap in that noisy mental abuse so I can Shazam this background song. How do I make sure my Apple Music never plays anything like this again? This is us meeting our main character Dylan again. I think that this introduction would have been more effective if we hadn't already seen Dylan in that 4-way phone call just a few scenes ago, which broadcast to us that Dylan is already under the thumb of Massey. Like, if we didn't know that already, wouldn't we be like, oh, Massey's making some cool friends, even though that girl at the guest house doesn't like her? And we would feel kind of like hopeful for her. So it would put us on a little bit more of a ride.
Moms, they just don't get it.
Right? Weren't they kids once too?
Yes, sweetie, and their parents also criticized their bodies and withheld affection to the point of neurosis. Do you see the pattern here? It's the same toxic cycle that'll probably get your sociopathic little brother elected president one day. Also, you'll notice Dylan's voice is never at a realistic level. She's always cheating out like she's in the 3rd grade play. She's like, it's so true! Haven't parents ever been a kid? Ah! I'd be like, okay, I know I just met you, but the sonic waves coming out of your mouth are softening my bones. Anyway, Claire has the idea to switch the sizes on the pants so that she can get the size 4, but it'll actually fit her as a 6. And I'm just like, so we're not gonna talk about the crazy body shaming here? That's not the point? Okay. Also, why do I have a feeling that in the book, Dylan's character was a little overweight? Because they talk about her weight several times in this movie, and it doesn't make sense.
You're brilliant. I'm Dylan.
Claire.
We just walked in on some dude trying on really close.
No.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
It's the enthusiastic sexual harassment for me. Dressing room voyeurs already, ladies? This kinky clique is gonna be drilling peepholes into the prison showers by their first homecoming game. I can already see it. Claire's mom surprises her with the white jeans that she really wanted, and the next day, she's got her first day of school outfit on.
Good girls go to Orlando. Bad girls go to Miami. Where do ugly girls like you go?
Newsflash, we ugly girls are everywhere, and we're proud. Ugly girls, rise up! I bought a book on self-confidence, haven't read it yet. Also, 4 days ago, I cryptically tweeted out the phrase, good girls go to Orlando, bad girls go to Miami, to see what the responses would be. Lindsay added, and rednecks go to Panama City Beach. Mady Martinez says, I guess I was born a bad girl. Yeah, honey. And then several of you called out that this is a clip breakdown on the Clique. You clever television viewers. Here's the thing about that t-shirt. I need one in every color. So because they're ultra uber rich, Claire gets to take the car service to school with Massey every day and Massey's Clique. The car is driven by Isaac, driver guy. But right off the bat, Massey's like, you can sit in the back, honey. Bye-bye.
Machino dress, Allison Olivia jacket, Michael Kors handbag, adorable.
Mispronounced designer, jacket made out of a couch, and the label you can find at any TJ Maxx. These girls really have no business being half as snobby as they are. When it comes time to eat the rich, I want these little ones on a skewer with peanut dipping sauce like chicken satay. Of course, when Dylan enters the car, this is where the worlds collide.
Claire's the one who had that brilliant idea about the pants.
Claire's the girl I told you about. The one living in my guest house because her parents can't afford anything else right now.
My parents may not be rich, but it sounds like I'm still the you've been talking about for the past few days. So how about that? Looks like Claire's reputation precedes her at this all-girls private school that somehow doesn't require uniforms. From the little brother, it seems like the boys all had to wear a uniform or a school sweater. But for the young ladies, they just decided to go with unchecked status flaunting and label obsession. It contributes to a positive overall learning environment. Also, she's like, Claire is the girl that I was telling you about. How come we didn't ever get a scene where Massey told the girls about this new visitor who's coming and gonna be a huge drag on all of them? Like, instead of that manipulative phone call about the head lice for a girl we don't even know, she could have been like, I can't go because this wretched girl who's coming to visit, she's some nobody from Florida. You know, like, if she really was able to build up Claire as this incoming loser who was gonna be ugly and horrible and we were all gonna hate her and she had head lice, then the girls would be like, oh my god, and she's gonna be at school with us? Ugh, I don't wanna meet her. Like, she can be already turning people against her. That would have been a better use of that screen time by a mile. Just change it and show me the stuff that's important and don't do the stuff that isn't important. It should be clear by now. Anyway, we're getting all of the girls in the car. There's also Leash.
You look amazing. Just wait till tomorrow.
Why? Because you get better looking every day!
That's only true until about your mid-20s. Then it's just a slippery slope of trying not to look like you have the same diseases that killed both your grandparents. Nobody said life was gonna be fair. In fact, I didn't get any advanced warning before being born. All of a sudden, I just gained consciousness one day in the swimming pool at my daycare. Honestly, it's just been one stressful thing after another since. Okay, so next we meet Kristen, played by Bridget Mendler, just a couple years before she found Disney fame with Lemonade Mouth and Good Luck Charlie. Also displaying a kind of movie trope that we've seen several times over on Clip Breakdown, but as we've also decided, has some basis in reality. I think we've seen this enough that we can jump cut through the process a little faster. We've spent more time watching someone struggle out of their Juicy Couture tracksuit than a massage therapist in Calabasas. Come on, sweetie, I got other clients on the block who tip a lot more. The movie really tries to sell us on all of these fashion moments, which makes me feel like it's not as self-aware of anti-materialistic message that it's trying to purvey. Also, just the fact that these girls always look like they're on their way to their first communion.
You gotta hear what I'm saying. You can look, don't touch. You can look, but don't touch.
Smart idea to give us a long, slow motion shot while they walk through the darkest part of this unlit hallway. And I'm not being sarcastic, this is actually helpful to me since I literally don't want to see any of this. A lot of this movie just seems to use found lighting. Like, I don't see them having set up any lights in this hallway to fill in those gaps beneath the overheads. I think it was like 2016, I wanted to be an extra on a movie really bad just for fun. So I found one and I got there and it was like a lecture scene. They started shooting and they hadn't set up any, like I was waiting for the gaffer to set up lights. They didn't set up any lights. The person who had been like in other TV shows, like the main actress was in Boardwalk Empire, and she was doing a scene and there were like these dark shadows under their eyes from the overhead lighting, and I was like, this is gonna be the worst thing I've ever seen. I left at the lunch break and they were like, wait, we can pay you $20 if you stay, and I was like, you should keep that. Maybe you can put it towards a flashlight that you can hold in people's face so that they're not completely looking like a ghoul on camera. So while she's coming inside or something, Claire bumps into Chris Abele. That's the cute boy from the riding trail that Massey likes now. Chris is like, oh, I'm bringing my thermos to my sister. That's why I'm at this all-girls school. When Massey sees this, it obviously makes her insanely jealous, which is why she and her friends start really lashing out at poor Claire. Claire, though, says, I'm not sure I'm here for this.
I don't get it. Why are you being like this?
Like what, Claire? What am I being like? I don't know.
You all better listen the f up because Claire has started assigning seats. When I tell you that I clapped my hands and cheered when she said that, I said, she said, bitch. Becky with the blunt bangs got some blunt language when she needs to. I don't think Massey's ever been talked to like this, and I love it. This is the only satisfaction I really felt in the movie. I was like, okay, if they turn this into a Claire gets revenge story, then I'm here for it. Getting revenge on the Mean Girls is the best part of any movie. In Harriet the Spy, when she started getting back at all of her classmates, or in Mean Girls when they tried to sabotage Regina George. So I thought that's where this was going. Unfortunately, it never picks up to full steam.
I can't believe she just said that. She just called you a bitch to your face. Max, what are you gonna do to her?
What's wrong with me that my mind goes straight to acid attack? We're lucky that I had no social standing in middle school, or I would have been acting like Carrie White at the prom every time someone took the last strawberry milk. You kids are lucky I had no confidence in middle school. I was just a shy boy who would go home and write about it in his journal. It would be so over for you. I would be more like this gay art teacher here.
Do you need a personal invitation to come in? Give me your email, I'll send you an evite.
Oh great, even the full-grown adult staff of this school are catty. Sir, don't be bitter just because you have no one at home to help even out that weirdly shaped haircut of yours. Business in the front, Franciscan monastery in the back?
I'm Claire. I'm new.
I'm Vincent, I'm old. But you know what they say, 32 is the new 22. My likes include Broadway musicals, pina coladas, and taking long walks in the rain. And my dislikes are, oh yeah, tardiness.
Well, it's my first class on my first day at a new school, little prince. Remember how nervous you were when you first got flogged on Folsom Street, and have some empathy for me. Also, yes, it freaks me out that if they remade this movie today, I could play that teacher and there would be no discernible difference in the performance. I even used to love wearing an Argyle sweater over a collared shirt like that. I was like, this is perfect for my uncle's funeral. I'm gonna be the hottest gay there. They're like, you don't wanna wear black? I said, not what I'm doing this year, not my color story for the season. So while the girls are all painting some tomatoes, Leash intentionally bumps into Claire to pull this awful prank.
Oh, Miss Lyons, here's a pass to the nurse. And take your books with you.
I feel fine.
Just go.
This drama queen teacher is on his walkie-talkie like, we've got a student with a gunshot wound to the ass. I know this was so many people's biggest fear in middle and high school, so even I'm triggered, and I haven't even experienced menstruation in this lifetime. If I did, again, I would want to treat it like a Carrie White situation where everybody gets into the gym showers with me and celebrates by screaming, plug it up. It just seemed like a fun event. A couple things here. This teacher never comes back again in the movie. Like, if you're gonna introduce this character, I don't think he should just be included in a single scene. It just feels so pointless to introduce him and then have him disappear. Dylan gives her directions to the gym room where Massey gets to see her and take a picture. I get why they're doing it, but it just feels like we're just spending a lot of time on extra things.
I'm not really sure why I'm here.
Oh, don't worry. You got your period. Look at the back of your jeans.
How is this possible?
She's like, that is so weird because I'm secretly 80 years old. This period-stained plot point also feels uniquely young adult because it's so uncomfortably handled and kind of lazy. Kind of just choosing a shocking little thing that, you know, young girls will react to and talk about.
This is also the lost and found. These girls want nothing to do with last season's clothes, trust me.
Even the nurse can tell you're not as rich as the rest of the girls at this school. She said, go ahead and tell them you got a period scene on that awful t-shirt as well, because that's literally less embarrassing than walking around wearing that. Thanks to the lost and found, Claire has a hot new outfit to wear.
How did I end up here? One of the cool kids this year. What a surprise now, 'cause all that I am feeling is kinda weird.
This was me trying my best not to enjoy that song at first.
How did I end up here? One of the cool kids this year. What a surprise now, 'cause all that I am feeling is kinda weird.
Oh, by the way, this show, movie, book, whatever, takes place in Westchester, New York, so not far from New York City in a very wealthy area. Although it was actually shot in the February of 2008 in Connecticut.
Hey, cool top.
I had the same one, but I lost it.
It's Queen Elizabeth Gillis, aka Jade from Victorious. She first made her Broadway debut probably not long before this in the Broadway musical 13, along with Ariana Grande. She needed a bigger role in this movie than the cool top girl. But I think it also shows how they clearly cast a lot of these actresses out of New York. Since they were shooting it on the East Coast, they would have naturally had a larger selection of Broadway young children who were, getting auditions for movies and stuff that were shooting in the area.
Loser, loser, double loser, whatever, as if, get the picture, duh.
Once more with energy, ladies, or for lunch we're gonna make you eat the prop food again. Dylan on the end there just looked a little too embarrassed to be a part of that scene. And I don't blame her, the loser thing was from when I was a kid in 1990. So Massey tells the girls about Chris Abele, the boy that she wants to do spying on at the boys' school to see if she can be his new girlfriend.
Hey, what happened to the diet? I'm starving. It's either this or my left arm.
Girl, you better get out of here with that bag of sopping wet cherries dripping all over yourself. And are you eating the pits? How come in this screenplay even the fruit feels under-researched? Anyway, Claire's mom is fine that the red pants got ruined. I don't know why we even needed to see that. It seems like every day, this is probably further explained in the book, but every day Massey does her State of the Union, which I don't know if I understand the title of this document.
I mean, what's next? She's gonna change her last name to Block and move into my bedroom? I may live on 4.6 acres of property, but there is no way that it's big enough for me and...
I'm sorry, do you just spend your entire afternoon talking to your dog and typing up these little lists? There's no way a girl like this is reading for fun. I want to know how many of you saw this as little kids and then ended up typing your own State of the Union every day for like a week before you abandoned it. It's kind of the perfect match because it takes like the journal part of Harriet the Spy and then reduces it to a much more reasonable 6 words per day. It was also mentioned that Kristen needs to come up with a topic for her Women in Business project, which they're about to discover.
I can't believe your lips are so red from all this cherry.
I just wish my lip gloss lasted that long.
If you could sell that, you could make a fortune. Lipstick that lasts 24 hours.
24-hour lip color from Maybelline, New York.
Wow, revolutionary idea, Massey, really coming through. But Kristen is like, this is the perfect idea. We can make all natural flavored lip glosses and sell them on the bus trip to New York coming up. And I guess that's somehow the project. Like, I thought you had to write about a woman in business, but now I guess you just have to start a business and sell the lipstick? That you kind of made up your own project there, but that's okay. So the girls have to come up with a name for their new company that I guess they're all responsible for now for some reason. It's a group project all of a sudden. What?
What about Glambition?
It'll do, until I think of something better.
That's what the screenwriter said after reading the books that this movie is based off of. And then they sat down and watched Mean Girls and 2 seasons of Gossip Girl with some grain alcohol, and here we are. So at this point in the movie, Claire is still clearly trying to fight for acceptance amongst these girls. She wants them to like her. Isaac tries to give her some advice.
FYI, Claire. There are more girls than those girls at this school.
And I need you to bring me their skin for the leather interior of this car. I definitely feel that sense where I'm like, girl, just ignore these awful girls. Like, just find some real friends. But I get it. When you're a kid, you only want the group of friends that don't want to hang out with you for some reason. Anyway, let's go back to this lunchroom. I love the affluent Connecticut kids that they got to be extras in this movie. Jillian, the juice retriever with the white scarf, is talking to herself for some reason, and the 3 girls in the foreground at the table can't even pretend like they know each other. But thankfully, Claire finally gets the courage to sit down at a table with a new friend, or hopefully a new friend.
Is that real?
Have you ever seen a real tattoo that's 3-dimensional and sparkly? And don't try to explain dermal piercings to me in the comments section as though I haven't been to the smoking section of any nightclub before. I guess now I'm just yelling at people for comments they didn't even leave yet. That's where we're at.
I got this at CVS for $1.20.
Me in 5 years showing off my new hairpiece. This girl looked so familiar to me and it was driving me crazy until I realized that she played April, Luke's estranged daughter, in the later seasons of Gilmore Girls. She's easily the most interesting, realistic character in all of this whole show, episode, movie.
Well, you never know. For all I know, those Picassos on the wall could be real.
They are.
See, that was a funny moment. So it's not like this movie doesn't work. It just works too hard for very little payoff, annoying everybody along the way. Just like a multi-level marketing salesperson. We literally have to sit and watch like the real-time conversation of these girls becoming friends through some empty like compliments.
Hey, cool bag.
It's a stereo. $50 Spencer Gifts.
Okay, girl, we get it. You went to the mall with your mom this weekend. I think this is their on-the-nose way of showing that Lane isn't all about the price tag like the other girls, even though, you know, she keeps only mentioning the price tag of things. Claire is like, do you want to hang out this Friday? Like, we can just hang out? And they're like, yes, we're so excited. But then the very next scene, Massey's mom is like, Claire, Massey's having a sleepover this weekend. You should join. So then Claire has to call Lane and cancel. I did not like any of that. I'm like, this is so logistical. I don't need to know. This feels like work. What is this? 33 minutes in? 33 minutes in this movie and crazy amounts of nothing have happened. Crazy amounts of nothing. Insane. Anyway, as soon as Claire gets to the sleepover, it's like more of a nightmare.
Any clothes you're donating need to go into these boxes for the auction. We host the OCD auction every year to raise money for scholarships.
I know one local charity that could use a donation.
Massey, kitchen now.
If Massey's mother acts so nice and down to earth towards Claire, where did her daughter learn to be so cruel? I think Massey is just a public reflection of this white-ass family's private political views. I don't care if you're nice to my daughter, you're supposed to be nice to children. Now who the did you vote for in the last election? And it's rude of you to not answer that when someone asks. Massey is getting scolded for being blatantly rude.
Told you, if you didn't invite Claire, I would.
But Mom, you should see how she treats me at school. She's not this nice, sweet, innocent girl everyone makes her out to be.
Massey, I know you, and there are always two sides to your story.
We all know it wasn't an accident when your brother drowned on that paddle boat. Sweetie, you know it's a bad sign when your own mother is calling you a lying, messy flop. The awkward way, like I know they shot this in the freezing cold of Connecticut during the winter, but the awkward way these girls always have their winter coats on, it's like, nothing stresses me out more than seeing someone indoors with their winter coat. It's like your body's adjusting to the warmth now, and you're gonna be colder when you go outside, and you just look too uncomfortable. Like, take your coat off. Stay a while.
I'm going down to the cabana. That's where we sleep. Come if you want. Or not.
Okay, I don't know what kind of chemical imbalance was causing my 7th grade era of depression, but this movie is taking it right back out of remission, baby. I feel like I'm about to start focusing all my energy into loving The Nightmare Before Christmas again. So with that enthusiastic invitation, of course Claire like mopes over to the slumber party where it's just like, I hate this.
Claire, what do you think? Would you rather be a friendless loser or a person with tons of friends who secretly hate you?
Well, it's hard to say. I've only ever been a friendless loser, so Massey, what's it like to have everyone secretly hate you? Also, now you said this was a slumber party. Where's the food? This is a rich household. I'm expecting bowls of candy. I want Starburst. I want bags of chips, Sun Chips, cheddar cheese popcorn. There better be Gushers. I want someone to come in with some Krispy Kreme in the morning. Like, we're not going to bed at 3 p.m. Rich friends had the best sleepovers. Sleepovers were fun. Who wants to come sleep over my house? Not a real invitation. Don't say yes to that. They start playing Truth or Dare. Massey tells the group that she's never kissed anybody, but after the charity auction coming up, she should have been able to kiss Chris Abele. That's her plan. Then they ask Claire who she likes, which if it's Truth or Dare and a bunch of mean girls ask you who you have a crush on, back out of the room. It's a trap. I know this for sure.
There was this skateboard guy, Chris.
You know that's the guy Massey was just talking about kissing.
Dylan, you know your hair is always an absolute mess. Tell the assistant director they don't need to be always rushing you out of the makeup trailer with those styles looking half done. Like, I think we know who number 5 on the call sheet was. Obviously, this makes Massey so mad to know that Claire is moving in on Chris Abele. And then we just get more pointless moments like this. Like, why does Claire have to go to bed and then get up to leave? They could have done this all with the lights on. It's just weird, like with too many steps to all of these scenes that add up to minutes and minutes and minutes of extra fluff to make this a 90-minute movie, which it barely is.
Oh my God, Claire, was that you?
Funny, Leash. I thought it was the sound of your boobs rubbing together.
Okay, I don't really get the comeback, but that type of humor is definitely on brand for this channel, and honestly, I'm just happy to see the shy girl with full house bangs get a zinger in every once in a while. I thought after that, like where she got a comeback in, they would be like, okay, we can start to accept her a little bit more, but she actually gets up and leaves after that, so I found that sort of character growth moment a little confusing or misplaced.
Claire, wait. You don't have to go.
Have to?
I want to.
These girls are so hot and cold with each other that now I'm getting pneumonia for the 6th time this year. Verbal parentheses, I think it's also because of some other things wrong with me as well. I believe that this was the moment where we're supposed to see that Claire no longer cares about the acceptance of these girls. She's decided, I don't want to fit in with them anymore, I'm out. I think that could have been demonstrated a lot more clearly. Like, if they said mean stuff about Lane and they were like, you should not hang out with her, she's gonna make you look so bad. And then Claire could be like, well, who can I hang out with? Because you guys don't like me. And then anyone else that I talk to, you say is a lame too. So maybe you guys are actually the ones with no friends. And then she like walks off. That would be good, like a moment of telling them off. Oh, hi, plant. The next day, the girls are at the pool working on their lip gloss formula, deciding, oh, we're gonna use peanut oil and we're gonna use avocado oil. That's when Lane shows up to visit Claire, along with a special guest.
Hey, Claire.
Hey, glad you could make it.
Oh, Claire, meet my brother.
Chris, we've met. Well, if you're looking for your girlfriend, she's up there.
My girlfriend lives across town.
But I thought your girlfriend was...
Fawn. Yeah, she's perfect. She's beautiful.
You're perfect, you're beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista, you're a model.
So we find out from this little exchange that Chris Abele actually has a girlfriend since he was in 7th grade, so 2 years. That's like forever in teenage times. When there were couples that were together for multiple school years in my high school, we treated them like they were the king and queen. We were like, and here come the champions of romance and young love. Because the heteronormative society wants to lift those young, white, straight relationships up and put them on a pedestal from the very first time we see them at age 2 years old, when it's like, oh, that little baby's gonna be a lady killer. Like, no, they're just two blobs of tissue sitting there trying not to die. They're not lady killing. So then as soon as we see like two attractive young teenagers get together, we're like, oh, the all-American couple. Little ditty about Jack and Diane. F Jack, f Diane. Both of them can go eat shit. Anyway, this is great news for Claire to find out that despite what Massey said, Chris Abele is not her boyfriend. So she's like, I'm gonna just lay this on even thicker.
Oh, Chris, wait, it's just something in your hair.
Claire looked Massey dead in the eyes and said, oh, you want to start manipulating situations right now? Because I will be out here in a different wig playing multiple characters like Hannah Montana, baby. I'm from Florida, okay? We know how to fight. Also, why are these girls all wearing sunglasses when they're hanging out at an indoor pool? They want to pretend like this is a warm environment. They meant to shoot this in the summer, you can tell. Imagine being Bridget Mendler and having your eardrum blown out by some girl wearing plastic beads. If you are an actor, you might as well be donating your body to science with the amount of stuff they put you through. Also confusing that she was yelling for Isaac there, who we never see, bring her to the riding trail, which I never realized was even at a different location. Also, are you just leaving your friends at home? Like, I don't get it. The chronology of these scenes always feels wacky to me. It always feels like I don't know what day it is. They're always changing outfits. It's too much. But I guess Massey got Isaac, the driver, to bring her to the trailhead so that she could flirt.
We should all hang out sometime.
What are you doing with my hat?
I'm gonna donate it to the auction on Saturday.
Actually, the day of the auction's my birthday.
Oh, what better place to celebrate?
Better than a charity auction for a school he doesn't go to? She then ran back and caught Lane before Lane left hanging out with Claire. And she's like, I have something to tell you. And then this all happens.
Lane, are you still on for Manny's and Petty's after school?
For surezies.
Since when do you want to be friends with her?
Everyone wants to be friends with Massey. Isn't that why you lied to me and ditched me for her sleepover?
Look, we can keep getting mad at each other back and forth over these rude, insecure attacks, but honestly, I think there are better ways to kill the last few years before we go to college. Maybe now is a good time to try smoking pot like we talked about.
Ow, okay, hot!
Just stick your feet in and relax. Quietly.
Oh, now you're aware of volume control, missile air raid siren Massey?
Lane, come on, your water's getting cold.
Is she in another building? Do you need me to get you a megaphone so we can disrupt the fault line? This girl has the nerve to tell other people to be quiet when she legit needs her vocal cords cut like a dog. Side note, I would never cut a dog's vocal cords. That's just something I've heard happens. So literally nothing really comes of the Mani-Pedi scene. Like, they could have used it to have it be like, oh, at some point, Lane got some really bad information or an embarrassing fact about Claire. That way Massey gets some intel that she she uses to embarrass Claire later on. That would at least make this a useful scene where it's like, what are you up to? And we feel like Massey is this devious, calculated person and not just someone who's wasting her time on a friendship date with someone she doesn't even like. Anyway, the next day or whatever, the girls are at the pool trying to work on their project, but Massey is over an hour late while Claire is getting into the pool.
Claire, are you a bird? No. Then why is your suit so cheap?
Leash, are you a wild rabbit? Then why is your vagina infested with maggots? I'm sorry, but this girl legit has a mental arsenal of the kind of one-liners you would read on a popsicle stick. It's actually more embarrassing for her that she has all of those things memorized. And then the way the other girls lean in, they're like, cheap, 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 cheap. Like, when did you rehearse doing this? The whatever get a picture thing. Like, you spend too much time organizing these things to even come off like you have a cool thing to say. Like, you're sitting in your bedroom being like, that girl's a loser. Like, you're playing patty cake, so f you. Anyway, we could have really enjoyed this slight character development in Claire's increased confidence if we had a better turning point for her in that sleepover scene. It needed to be a better turning point. But for whatever reason, Claire is more confident now.
Well, would it kill you to have a little fun while you waited? With you? Probably. That was sweet.
Yeah, she could probably go pro. These girls flip-flop on my girl Claire like a fried egg. Well, guess what, you little preteen actresses? Your yolks are runny and you smell like chicken.
You guys should really come in. Why not? It's not like we're doing anything.
I'm sorry, what was with those sudden freeze frame effects from my 8th grade video yearbook? This swimming pool montage is so chaotic that to me it's a miracle that the entire cast and crew didn't drown. Mama, this is rats on a sinking ship. Can we not get a lens cloth to wipe off the droplets? And poor Dylan here is being scalped by her metallic headband. Someone on set really wanted to f up that girl's hair in particular. I think that's discrimination against natural redheads. But then of course, Massey storms in dressed for a part in A League of Their Own, and she shuns Claire once again, and Claire is left sobbing in wet. So she runs home where her mother is making this beautiful meal. Oh, welcome home, honey. We're having irregularly chopped vegetables for dinner. The way she is hacking with that serrated knife so close to her fingertips is giving me a rush of adrenaline that I don't need. What are you cooking? Danger soup? Claire's mom basically threatens her when she sees Claire all upset. She's like, if you don't go talk to Massey tonight, I'm gonna talk to her mother about how she's bullying you. She doesn't seem like the right way to handle things, but whatever. So that night, Claire goes to talk it out with Massey, but Massey's walking her stupid dog. So, like, do you see how treacherous this whole movie is? It's so long. So, Claire starts pretending to be Massey on Massey's unattended instant messenger, being like, oh, I actually really like Claire now. I'm gonna go hang out with her. And we should all wear leggings with denim over them tomorrow. I saw it in Teen Vogue. So then the next day, this happens.
Ew, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? I thought we were going all Teen Vogue-ish today.
We all really thought we were mature citizens of the world for reading Teen Vogue, didn't we? Like, baby, it's a 5-paragraph essay about sweatshops and some Rice Krispie treat recipes designed to sell us Abercrombie and Fitch. So that night, once again, Claire sneaks in while Massey is walking the dog. Claire is really sabotaging Massey. She tells Dylan, like, you don't want to wear that skirt. Your thighs will look fat. And then she starts getting a message from Kristen, the girl doing the school project, and she gets this piece of tea.
If this works out, Massey will be without her annoying friends soon enough.
Doing homework?
Glambition. I've just gotta get an A math. You know how I'm always worried about grades? It's not just because I have strict parents. It's because I have poor parents.
Wow, that must have been really hard to admit, sexy sports babe. Which is why I won't point out that if your parents are poor, so are you. Don't try to make it sound like they're just your embarrassing roommates and you're on reduced lunch for fun. So anyway, Kristen points out that she's on scholarship, so she needs to get good grades, and that also she doesn't live in that big fancy building. She lives in the building next door, which seems kind of like a plot hole since we saw her come out of the building and look back for her parents. Like, where do you live, girl? If they were gonna copy Cheetah Girls, they should have done it better, where we saw like her show up to the house and then go around the building or something like that. Anyway, Claire and her brother almost get caught, but Claire's brother takes the fall. This is just like some little suspense they build into it. I'm tired of this movie. Maybe I just don't care about middle school politics, but I also think I would care about them if this was well written. Like the movie 8th Grade by Bo Burnham. Like, you care about those characters.
Oh my god! What are you doing in here?
I hate when she screams so loud that the audio actually gets distorted. Like, who was mixing sound on this set? An iPod Nano? The next day, Claire's plan is working since the friends are basically shunning Massey over Claire by being like, I don't want to talk to you, you think my legs look fat, and real nice for saying I can't afford nice things when I already told you a secret. So naturally Claire's like, I don't get what's going on around here. But Claire then, and this is like another Mean Girls thing where she gets like put in her place in the lunchroom and everyone notices.
God, you really are a bitch.
Sorry, no comprende. I don't speak loser.
No hablas.
Did they get actual 7th graders to write this dialogue? And I don't think Lane conjugated that verb properly. I'm just saying, private school tuition doesn't necessarily translate to higher test scores.
Mass, there's a free seat right here.
Okay, but who the fuck is that girl now? If they add one more 7th grader to this cast, I'm gonna start getting these kids to clip box tops for me. I don't know what you're supposed to do with them, but I just love the idea of taking things from children. Also, this Chris Abele hat just keeps jumping around people's heads. Like, wasn't she wearing that hat because it was his fake boyfriend? Now that girl has it on? Don't get the hat thing. I don't get it. The book probably explains it more. Meanwhile, Claire is being accepted by her new friend group even more, and they're like sharing the love, buying her things.
I spent all my allowance on that new Chloe handbag. You know, the one Lindsay Lohan was carrying when she got in that accident.
Wait, you got the actual bag from the accident? Are there any bloodstains on it? Check the pockets for a Victoria's Secret card.
You'd buy me a dress? Actually, one of my 3 best friends will. Visa, MasterCard, or Amex.
Ooh, I think this store only takes Diners Club International. Let's just steal it. These characters worship materialism at every turn, but the script completely fails to disavow that. It's basically Mean Girls, but no one learns anything by the end of it. But as long as we're getting kids really interested in dropping designer names to all of their friends, we're helping women succeed. Claire is having the time of her life being part of the in crowd for all of 30 seconds in this movie. This is the part of the movie that almost ended me. They said, okay, girls, we're gonna have each of you line up and just do some hair flips. We'll see how the editor does at stretching that into 3 minutes of runtime. You know I always hate a pointless girls getting ready montage, and at this point, it feels like I've been watching this movie for 6 years. This is the kind of filmmaking fluff that only exists in kid movies because only someone up to the age of a preteen could sit and watch something so meaningless for 90 minutes without having their mind wander to other more important things that they should be doing. But people of all ages could be using their time better than watching this. Like reading the book, at least your brain is processing words. Okay, so obviously pre-production for this movie didn't include any dance rehearsals. Here's a little math problem for you. If 3 out of 4 of these actresses had listed tap dance experience on their resume, but 2 out of those 3 actresses were lying, how many grade schoolers do we have on camera trying to figure out how to do something at the same time? They're like, ooh, ooh, like, girls, count it out. Now Claire gets home and you can tell she's changed because she has curled hair. And this is the part of the movie where the mom is like, you're a different person now. Which again, it's just a watered down version of what Mean Girls gave us.
It's a big deal when you were over 2 hours late.
Okay, this movie is working my 7th grade out. Watching this girl have a miserable young life is like living the first day of school over and over again. I've had to move towns, deal with catty girls, period stain my white jeans, and now I'm getting screamed at by a woman wearing this outfit? I cannot. What an awful movie. To all the people on Twitter who said they used to watch this movie every day as a kid, what SSR eyes are you on now? It doesn't take long as they try to finish their lip gloss project for Massey to realize that Claire came in and was catfishing all of them.
Wow, I've never been on a 4-way before. Fun!
Actually, it's a 5-way.
Fun's over. We know what you did, Claire. Hijacking my IM, so not cool.
I relate to this girl because I also can't make it through a single sentence without an over-the-top facial expression. Also, for some reason, I do this thing when I'm looking for an emoji, I end up mimicking the face that I'm trying to find. What is that? Why? So now Claire is obviously really on the chopping block with these girls.
My mom wanted to borrow an egg.
An egg? Sure. Catch!
Oof, that looked really painful. They just ruptured Claire's windpipe and she's like, I'm just happy to be included. So Claire finally admits to her mother about all of the miserable time that Massey's been giving her.
She hates me. She's been making my life miserable since the day we came. At first, I just wanted her to like me, but then I was just hoping that she'd stop picking on me. I tried everything. and I did some things I shouldn't have done.
Girl, don't cry about that. I would have done way worse. If I were in Claire's position, these girls would have had straight up Nair in their shampoo bottles by the second rude encounter. I would have Massey's stupid little head on a stick for my science fair project, like, here's the girl that tried to come for me 2 weeks ago. Now you can paint her face like a cosmetology mannequin. There's still so much going on in this movie. I literally need to take another break. So, it's finally time for the girls to sell their Glambition lip gloss, but because of the recipe they use, it doesn't go great.
My lips are burning! My lips are on fire!
I would be sitting there with my herpes outbreak like, yes, this is my lucky day. I use that lip gloss too. The same thing is happening to me. So like half the girls who put on this lip gloss are freaking out.
Okay. Is anyone here allergic to peanuts?
They made their makeup with peanuts. It's like the most common allergy ever.
Also, I don't know if you've ever smelled peanut oil, but it smells like peanuts. How is this entire bus full of girls like, this cherry lip gloss tastes like Thai food? Which is clearly the type of takeout that's been on my mind today. I know who to call next. Claire gets a secret text from somebody saying, oh, use the oatmeal. It will reduce the swelling. I read it in Teen Vogue or something.
Take it. I know us girls take it.
Thank God.
I don't want to see those Quaker Oats kissers. Couldn't we have just asked the nurse's office for some Benadryl? This chunkiness is ruining my day. Also, they clearly ingested that lip gloss. Shouldn't their throats be closing up or something? I don't know. I mean, we all saw the movie Hereditary. Off with their heads. So even though Claire doesn't know necessarily where she got that oatmeal tip from, she was able to save the day.
I just wanted to say thanks for saving the day. I'm glad I told you my secret instead of Massey.
I agree, it was a bad idea that you ever even confided in her. I once told a popular kid my secret in hopes that it would make me their friend, and the very next week it was all over town. That's why everyone knows that I've got the juiciest ass in Cleveland.
I'm thinking oatmeal flavor might be a bestseller.
And I'm thinking you might want to watch your head, baby. You just almost got clotheslined by that bus's rearview mirror. And I'm just not sure what kind of insurance coverage we get on these straight-to-DVD movie sets. At some point, Massey decided that the best thing to do would be to surprise her non-boyfriend, Chris Abele, at the surprise auction by jumping out of a birthday cake. So this is her outfit for that on the night of the charity auction.
Ta-da! Oh my God! Where'd you get that? Feels really cute.
Girls, you know I have a hard time taking in all the compliments when you're talking simultaneously. They were just like, oh my God, Massey, you look totally amazing and that hair looks beautiful. I love how short that skin looks. Chris is gonna love you. So at the charity auction, Cassie, whatever her name is, Claire gives Leash back the clothes that she had bought her.
By the way, nice job trying to oust Massey. You got closer than I ever did.
The closest I ever got was buying an unregistered gun and waiting outside her house for 3 hours. But she came home late from cheer practice and I had a Spanish vocab quiz the next day. Anyway, see you in school. Claire also makes up with what's her name? The redhead Dylan, by being like, you would have rocked that short skirt. Again, Dylan's eating here, so I think she was supposed to be an overweight character in the book. They just abandoned it.
Where's Massey?
We have a very special birthday presentation. Chris Abele, this one's for you.
Remember, only Claire seems to know that Chris Abele has a girlfriend, and I say let the little brat fail. I think a good dose of public humiliation could do wonders for Massey's ego. I love how even Massey's mom was like, sure honey, let's build you a plywood cake so you can jump out of it like a sexy vixen and surprise some boy we don't even know. Like, ma'am, that's the Xanax telling you that's a good idea. But we know Claire saves the day.
If someone came up and said a few words about Chris.
I think I'd like Fawn, Chris's girlfriend. Please come up. Chris's girlfriend, Fawn, come up here.
Girlfriend?
Claire's like, I'm also just gonna pound a few nails into the top of this cake and wheel it into the basement. Also, Massey told me she got pregnant and ran away and we should all forget about her. DJ, play the chicken dance. I think it could have been funnier if she was like giving the speech and someone kept pounding out from underneath her. She was like, Chris's girlfriend, Fawn, is down here, and she like was pounding on the cake. They could have played it out longer. But anyway, then afterwards, Massey's like, you didn't have to do that for me.
You didn't have to do that.
Why did you? Because I'm not you.
Yes, read her, mama. She said, because I don't have whatever slowly simmering histrionic personality disorder is brewing in your psyche, threatening to make life miserable for whatever rich, societally pressured young man chooses to marry you until your chest turns leathery. I really wish I could go back in time to middle school and just make some mean kids cry. I feel like I would get back to present day and society would be like a utopia with flying cars. Eee. This is where Massey admits that she's the one who sent the oatmeal text helping her out, but she's like, I couldn't have sent it because people don't like me, blah, blah, blah. I don't get that either. Like, she wanted Claire to look good. She's like, you're the nice girl. That didn't help. She could have still said, oh, oatmeal. Anyway.
This is going to sound totally weird, but can I take your picture? It's for my brother.
And with that photograph, Claire had captured Massey's soul for eternity. That was her plan all along. Case closed. You're my soul slave demon now, little girl.
Here. And for the record, I pick A2. I'd rather be a friendless loser than have a bunch of friends who secretly hate me.
Well then, sucks to be you because your bestie out there just admitted to trying to get rid of you for years. Also, I just want to point out that if all of your friends secretly hate you, then in reality, you are a friendless loser. I hope that helps. Also, she gave her a flower that's like garbage from this table. Like, I don't know why I want someone, this is not a bouquet of flowers, it's just a trashed flower from the table. But apparently everyone's way different now. Now I'm even more confused. How is Claire both in and out? Is that dialectical behavioral therapy again? Because I already told you, I like being unfixable. Also, what did Massey learn here? And what did Claire learn? Claire's mom was the most reasonable person in the whole thing, but, you know, she was like, you're not gonna make people like you. People will like you for who you are, not what you have. But then Claire never really learned any of that, really. Because at the end, she's all still love-struck by Massey.
Who gave you the flower?
Believe it or not, Massey did. Not sure how long it'll last, but I'm hoping for a while.
You talking about the flower or Massey?
Both.
See, the moral of this story is you can't force people to like you, but sometimes, just sometimes, you actually can. Does that sound complete enough? Okay, no. How about material things like money and clothes are not ultimately what people will like about you. However, they will help you be more readily accepted by the wealthy. Nope, that sucks too. Okay, then I don't know what the message is then. Get your kids to an orthodontist before middle school, I guess. That's all I got. Whatever the lesson there was about becoming independent from others is completely lost because Claire is admiring that flower Massey gave her like it was plucked straight from Elijah Wood's asshole. And that's all she wrote for the Clique. You gotta tell me, if you read these books, what were they trying to say? Am I supposed to be Team Massey or Team Claire? What is up? This movie sucks, and it felt like 3 years long. Tell me what you thought of it in the comments below. What other tween-rated comedies should we check out on Clip Breakdown? Also, make sure you check out my Patreon for exclusive bonus content, and I have merch available, such as these new water bottles. But most importantly, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see more Clip Breakdown like this. It's a great free way to support the channel. But most importantly, if you're new here or you've been watching for a while but haven't yet, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when we're plucking a fresh flower from the ass of Elijah Woods, I guess. You guys are all the greatest. I will see you next time.